Kaizer Chiefs are in a race against Mamelodi Sundowns to sign a certain player by the name of Jaden Adams. And whoa, before you click off thinking, well, this is pointless, because we always know that if Chiefs are racing against Sundowns, Sundowns usually wins. But Jessica said something that makes me think, Chiefs might actually win this for once. And we're also going to talk about Ashley Dupree. Why did he stay behind and then follow the team 3 days after the fact? I don't think it was an injury. And also going to talk about the latest update on Itumeleng Khune and the Toyota Cup. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. First of all, I would like to say this big announcement. I am now in a collaboration with Goal South Africa. Yay! So we're working together. I'm working together with a lot of people these days because we're trying to, reach out to as many people as possible and talk about football, because I see that a lot of people love football in South Africa, but I don't think there are enough platforms where fans can also talk about these things and interact. So this is another opportunity. I'm hoping to work with more people here on YouTube and other places as well. Now, let's talk about Jaden Adams. Who is he, for those of you who don't know? He plays for Stellenbosch United. He's an attacking midfielder. Let me read you his stats from the previous season. 35 appearances, 3 goals, 8 assists. Now, people will say, oh, that's not great. But if you actually look at it, it's 11 goal contributions in 30 games, which means after every 3 games, he's going to give you a goal or an assist. Especially since he's a midfielder, he's going to give you assist. Remember, this is a player who's still developing, and the Stellenbosch are not really a team that is all-out attack all the time. And yet he still got those numbers. And remember, Stellenbosch numbers were coming out from other places as well. Also remember, Jaden Adams was not starting all the games all the times. He wasn't finishing all the games. So it's not like his minutes, he got all the minutes and he was just flopping. Actually, he contributed more than what other people in that position, especially at Kaizer Chiefs, contributed. So he's a very good player who can come to Kaizer Chiefs and add value. If you're looking at his market value right now, he will cost something around 22 million. Now, that's a very big, it's a lot of money that Kaizer Chiefs would be spending on a player, given the people who are there competing with, which is Mamelodi Sundowns. And Mamelodi Sundowns are said to be in a competition with Kaizer Chiefs. But then again, you look at that position, they have Sipho Mbule, they have Abo Masterchef. Did I just say Sipho Mbule then Masterchef? They have Utemba Zwane. I know it doesn't start all the games. They have Abo Alend in that position. They have Abo Mkhulisi. Nje in midfield, Vela Gnyaza Abo Mkhulisi plays a bit deeper. But they have a lot of players in that position, and we do know that Sundowns can still sign a player even though they have a lot of players in that position. But in this case, I just don't think that will happen. And that is why, according to this report by Latuma, they are saying that Kaizer Chiefs are slightly ahead. Now, what did Jessica say about Adams? Well, she said nothing about Adams, but she did say something about signings to Kaizer Chiefs. If you're enjoying this video, by the way, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for those of you who have already subscribed, you know what to do. Like the video. Danko. Now, Jessica came down when she was asked, why hasn't Kaizer Chiefs signed players? And she said the most beautiful thing that most of you guys would want to hear, which is, okay, we are giving the new technical team time to see the squad that they have and to do the things that they want to do, which is like, okay, we see that we're lacking in an attacking midfield position, or we see that we're lacking a left back position. Now, please get us this player. It's beautiful to think that Kaizer Chiefs are really viewing this thing that way, because we had reports before by Omazola of SABC Sports where they were saying that Nabi is given a certain freedom and choice as to which players he wants to bring at Kaizer Chiefs. But now we're actually hearing from the horse's mouth, Kaizer Chiefs, being Jessica, saying that, yeah, they are actually giving the coach time to assess the squad and to decide on who to sign. That's just beautiful to hear, because most of the times we see Chiefs signing 35 players and then 10 days later they sign a coach. Like, mate, who decided that those players should be signed by the club? So in this case, they're actually allowing the coach to do that, which I think is a good thing. I understand that some teams at times, they might want to also just bring in people and have sporting directors decide who gets to be signed. But I also agree with this, letting the coach do whatever that he wants, so that if he flops, God forbid, then you can just say, we gave you everything you wanted and you failed to do it. Now, let's talk about the other person who they decided for before the new system, not the system, the new management, nope, the new coaching team came in, which is Uitumele Nkhune, because when Jessica is asked, Jessica is asked about Uitumele Nkhune, the response to that, she says, we are talking to Itumeleng about opportunities that are there for him. Now, opportunities, I mean, what does that even mean? Because to me, if they're offering him a playing role, it would be, yeah, we're negotiating a contract, but they are talking about opportunities for him at the club. And we know what that means. Something in management, something in development, but it does not look like he's playing because he did not travel with the squad. And it's understandable. And I thank you to those guys who have been telling me on the comment section about Utati Uguti, the reason why that boy did not travel with the team, although he had trained with the senior team in South Africa, is because there were some problems with his passport. I wonder what that is. I had a problem with my own passport when I was coming back to SA. I'm registered as a, they say what? A foreigner, not a foreigner, an alien of sorts. So it's weird. I'm a South African. I was born here, but my passport is saying alien something. I only discovered that after coming back to the country, and my passport had been giving me problems in airports when I left Indonesia, or even when I arrived in Indonesia. So I know that these things happen. But him, it was a visa issue. So it wasn't necessarily a passport. So it was a visa. I don't know why his visa was not approved or whatever happened there. Anyways, thank you to those of you. Now, let's talk about another person who did not travel with the team and then travel with the team. Well, travel on his own. That is actually Preez. Now, historical card Preez goes like this. The team leaves on the 4th, which was a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. They leave on the 4th, they go to Turkey, and then Preez leaves on a Sunday, joining the team in Turkey. Now, the official reason or the reports by Umthokozi Sitube of our post was that Preez did not travel with the team because of injury. Now, I'm like, okay, the team traveled on Thursday, and they were like, Preez is not ready to travel. And then Friday, his injury miraculously heals because on Saturday, they book him a flight to Turkey, and then on Sunday, he travels, and then on Monday, he's with the team. I don't buy that for a second. I will tell you now, I do not buy it for a single second, because there's been talks, right, of him being wanted in Portugal. Even his agent, is he represented by Mike McCabe, if I'm not mistaken? The agent, if it's not Mike McCabe, correct me on the comments. But the agent said that, yes, there are opportunities for Preez in Portugal. Whatever happened to those opportunities is the reason why he stayed and is the reason why he ended up leaving. Because if maybe there were still negotiations as to, wait, what is happening? Is it going to Portugal? And then Friday, maybe they get the final communication, hey, we can't agree on the 30 million that you want. And because of that, Preez was like, okay, then just go join the team in Turkey. And then he's joining the team now in Turkey. And I think this is worth discussing, because we are talking about players like Jaden Adams right now. We're talking about players like Fiston Maele potentially being signed by Chiefs. I have not talked about that so much because I've not found enough reports from reliable sources or sort of mainstream sources for me to even talk about it here. But you know that if we get 30 million for Preez, we can spend that money on at least 2 to 3 players. Because if we're not spending it on Adams, like 22 million on Adams, and then 8 million, we can find another decent, I don't know, player, maybe striker, somewhere in Africa, or because we haven't signed a foreign player yet. So we can find a decent striker for that 8 million somewhere in Africa. So for Preez, you are getting an attacking midfielder. If we're not getting Adams, we can get a left back, Sadin, for that same amount, and then go somewhere in Africa. Hopefully they've been looking around who they can sign as a striker and bring that. And I personally believe that you can sort out those 2 main positions, like a left back and add a striker. Although with the striker, I'm not that worried, because you have Utuba, you have Uranga, and then you can also find other solutions from it development. You can play Shabalala as a false 9 if you are playing Mfundo Vilakazi as a 10. You can just move around a lot of players because there's Usaile. There are players coming up from development, as I said. There are things that you can do. Why am I forgetting this kid again who got promoted towards the end of the season, who can play as a left winger? There is Omodi also in that position. On the right, Opotsane will be coming back. Abo Saile are there. So I think that the Chiefs has a lot of options, and Mfundo can play on the right as well, because you're not going to play them all in midfield, because you can still have maybe you're starting with Umthetho, Castillo, and maybe Samgelo, Castillo, no, Mshini, and then you are playing Umtu as a false 9. You are playing Usaili, Abo. So there are options as a 9 if you want to play a false 9. You can play those out and out number 9s in Ranga and Tuba as well. So I think that I'm not worried that much about the number 9. So if you are losing to Preez to be able to sign a left back or an attacking midfielder, then I'm not worried about that. So I think that it's one thing that we should look at and say, maybe it's not a big loss to Preez leaving Chiefs, because we'll get money, although he might still contribute to a team. But if he's worth 30 million, I mean, Chiefs can do a lot with that money. But what do you guys think? Do let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Please go follow me on my other channel, The Cutback with Umpilo, and watch this video where I basically talk about whether or not South African football is being murdered by European coaches, and this other video where I just talk about something that YouTube thinks you might like. So thank you so much once again for watching, and until next time, remember, Khosi, I'll